All right, we have reading class. We are in reading lesson number 12 today. We did 11 yesterday. And yesterday was the first part of the Elm Avenue Mystery. So we have the second part today where you have oral reading. So you can do that with your mom or an older sibling. Make sure that you tell them like the problem in the story, what was happening, and how was the problem solved. We'll review some definitions. So we have critical. Critical means you're quick to find fault or blame. You're critical of the person. The second one is lopsided. It's not evenly shaped. The third one is pondered, is to think carefully, to thought about carefully, and pondered, you thought about it very carefully. 4 is surmising. Forming an opinion without knowing all of the facts, that's surmising. Trial. So the last one is trial means a test. It's like a test. And then I'm going to ask 5 questions. I want you to give the answers, but I'll break a little bit and then I'll give the answer because obviously you can't give the answer to me right now. But try to think of the answer in your head and make sure that you agree with my answer, right? So let's see if we have the same answers, okay? So the first question is, they're kind of about study words, okay? So the first question is, what do bees put in the cells of their honeycombs? And remember, we learned what cells and honeycombs are, and they put in their eggs and their honey. And the second question is, what do Snoopy people try to find out? Snoopy people try to find out things that are not their business. Snoopy person. The third question is, what part of a house do shingles cover? Shingles cover the roof of a house. Probably got that one quite right. And the fourth question is, what does a prop do? A prop holds something up. And the last question is, if your classroom is deserted, are your teacher and your classmates in it? No. If it's deserted, that means it's empty, nobody's in it. It's not being used. All right, so today you're gonna read your story, right? And it's more about the Elm Avenue Mystery. You're gonna read it again for your mom. So most days have little mysteries, right? So like, who's calling on the phone? Or who rang the doorbell? Or who has rung the doorbell? Or what package came in the mail? Or what's that funny noise, right? Why is somebody late to school, right? All these little kind of small mysteries, but how do you solve them? Do you just assume the answer, like surmise the answer? Or do you look for the facts? And looking for the facts is a very important thing to do in life. Otherwise, we will often make mistakes and accuse people wrongly if we just surmise ideas about what is going on, right? So we need to look for the facts before we accuse anyone and be critical of what they're doing. And that's kind of what the Bible verse is about. So on page 33 on the top in the feather is the Bible verse. And the Bible verse says, "Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause," Proverbs 24:28. And underneath it has a little bit of a paragraph, so I will read that with you. People are often curious about things they don't know, right? Sometimes they do not know the real cause of something. They make unkind guesses. If you need to know about something, look for the facts instead of guessing. And that's a very, very good thing to learn how to do, is instead of, especially like with your neighbors, people we know, don't imagine wrong things about them. And if you see something and you're not quite sure what it is, don't just imagine wrong things. Instead, you need to find out and make sure what you say is true. And also don't ever say things that hurt other people. Think about what you say before you say it. So that is our reading today. I'm going to read the 2 poems. So on part D, you need to read the 2 poems, but I'll read them to you right now. It's on the bottom of page 33. The first poem is called The Better Way. If anything unkind you hear about someone you know, my dear, do not, I pray you, repeat when you that someone chance to meet. For such news has a leaden way of clouding o'er a sunny day. But if you've something pleasant here about someone you know, my dear, make haste, to make great haste where well, to her or him the same to tell. For such news has a golden way of lighting up a cloudy day. The author is unknown. This poem tells you the best ways to handle things that you hear about others. So if you hear something unkind, don't repeat it to them, because it has a way of making that day sad for that person, right? I mean, I'm sure that's happened to me before, but if you hear something pleasant, you can encourage them with that. And that has a way of brightening up their day. And I've heard that before too. It always is encouraging. And then this poem is called If You Were. If you were busy being kind, before you knew it, you would find. You'd soon forget to think 'twas true that someone was unkind to you. If you were busy being glad and cheering people who are sad, although your heart might ache a bit, you'd soon forget to notice it. If you were busy being good and doing just the best you could, you'd not have time to blame some man who's doing just the best he can. If you were busy being right, you'd find yourself too busy quite to criticize your neighbor long because he's busy being wrong. And the author is unknown. And this poem is interesting. The first stanza is like, if you're busy being kind, you'd forget that some people were unkind to you because you're focusing on being kind. That's the point of that stanza. And the second stanza is, if you're busy being glad and happy and cheering people who are sad, even though you might be a little bit sad, you would probably forget to notice it. You would be distracted by helping other people. If you're busy being good, you would not have time to blame someone who's not doing the best they can, right? Because you would be doing your best. And if you're busy being right, you would forget to criticize your neighbor for being wrong, right? So that's what this poem is about. It's like what you're focusing on. And if you're focusing on the negatives, the bad things, that is what you're going to think about, and that's what you're going to do. And that's what this poem is about. All right, so have a good lesson in reading and enjoy your day.